Welcome to day 4 of Teresa's Christmas card making week of Webisodes. And once again, scrapbookers, there'll be a page or two for you. Now today we are welcoming, let's see, Merry and Bright, Warm Winter Wishes, and a little Naughty or Nice.
And those are the names of 2 new Artful card kits that we have and a great new stamp set for you. And wait till you see what Teresa has done combining them to create for you.
And you can figure out which title goes with which. Come play with us. Well, here they are. In fact, we didn't even talk about the other 2 little stamps.
We did, 2 little stamps too.
And so Merry and Bright is one Artful card kit.
Winter Wishes is the other one. And then here's the Naughty and Nice stamp set.
Which is a favorite around here.
And 2 small stamps, which are a gingerbread man and an ice skate.
Right. So we'll start with the Winter Wishes.
Okay.
You'll pull those. And Winter Wishes also has a ribbon set. There are 6 ribbons in this set, and you do get 36 inches of each. And as you can see, there's stitch, there's dot, there's grosgrain, there's more dot, and there's sheer. So
and this is different than the ribbon sets we used to get with the Artful card
you're
kits.
right. In fact, at first we were just doing satin, but then we decided that it was really kind of fun to have these specialized ribbons. So as
I'm really happy about it. I'm excited.
Good.
Okay.
Now, the Artful card kits, as you may know, are unique in that they have all the things together. And in this particular one, there's 107 pieces. Now, that's a great bargain. And the idea is that everything is there, as I said, but in addition, you're going to get some card ideas, 4 inspiration ideas on the package.
Useful.
Yeah, just to kind of kickstart that creativity. The papers are single-sided. They're 8.5 by 11 because they're for card making. And this is Winter Wishes, and you're going to see some kind of fun and playful art.
I love the new colors. They're
Do you like that?
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Very, very pretty. You see the snowflakes plaid going in there, a micro dot, a stripe.
Beautiful.
And also kind of a texture. You can see those tone-on-tone snowflakes. The cutouts give you the messages and the greetings, but then they're also plain ones so you can stamp or computer journal.
Right, computer journal. And this is wonderful because you can just cut these out quickly and add sentiments very easily.
Yeah, and then the die cuts. The die cuts are the piece of embellishment that we have, and this particular kit has 68 die cuts, and you just pop them out.
They just pop out, and you can also computer journal on these, which is wonderful.
So you're going to see this charming little penguin, as well as a little frosty polar bear and birds. And you can see the frames. You'll have inside frames as well as outside.
There's lots
borders.
of uses for all of these. You can stack them. You can use the borders. Wonderful.
And as a matter of fact, speaking of which, here we go.
All right.
Here we have a pair of polar bears sending us season greetings.
They're adorable little polar bears. I love the big, beautiful snowflake behind them too.
And this is what the Artful card kits are about, is layering those die cuts. Sometimes when you see, especially a big one like that, you know, the ready-made idea is, well, let's put this on the front of the card.
Right on the center.
Perfectly fine.
But offset it a little bit, add a little bit more to it, a few more die cuts, and you've got a totally different look. This is such a simple card. It was just covered with that one piece of paper, a matted strip down the center, and then pop a few die cuts on.
Actually, that's a great thing. I'm glad you said that because there are 7 sheets in the Artful card kit. That doesn't sound like a lot when we say 68 die cuts, but you do just use bits and pieces. So that's
they don't
what
all
makes...
have to be stacked on top of each other. They can be spread out along with just a little bit of glimmer ribbon here out beneath that tag, so you can even make the ribbon go along with it.
And look at that little guy inside saying Winter Wishes, where we got the name for this. And I love the little bird with the scarf. Yes,
so
certainly important. And we confess, we did add some teal jewel dazzles, just, you know, because that's
easy.
how we are.
That's kind of a given.
Now, this card is an easel card, and Teresa said she really wanted to do some fun, different kinds of cards like that. She just thought it was a nice way to marry this with the Artful card kit because you get so many pieces in it.
And that's such an easy thing to do. You just put a score line down the center of the front of a standard card, And then there you have that fold, and you just adhere the front panel to that bottom part of that scored front panel.
And the other part to remember is you need to foam tape something on the inside so that it has a resting place.
So she has also done some stamping here. She stamped right onto the tag here, and this is using surfaces. I don't remember what color it is, but you can look in the gallery for that. And on the front, she actually embossed some tiny little snowflakes, which are found on the Naughty and Nice stamp set, which we hadn't quite got into because
we haven't. You're right.
But here's the stamp that she used, Merry Christmas. And there are 18 acrylic stamps on here. There are lots of really fun messages on here.
And as we go through, we'll show you some of those.
More, but here's the tiny little snowflake. So you've got lots of little embellishments too, and a nice big Merry Christmas.
Okay, so here is our penguins. Warm winter wishes to you. Very, very sweet. And this is a lot of layering, as you can see, that's going on in this card. So
a lot of layering, even with the small pieces which are put here on the center. And it's also been there have been some rhinestones added.
Right.
Some tiny little bling there.
And the lavender, why not? Doesn't that work perfectly?
Perfect.
Now, another card idea that Teresa has is a card within a card within a card. And so
how did you do that?
Yeah, right. So let me open this for you. So 'tis the season to be freezing. And so that's going to open up. Then this piece is going to open this way. And then we have a pocket for a gift card.
Isn't that wonderful? That's a wonderful idea. I love that. And this is all one piece of cardstock?
This one is one piece, but then there's another little card on the inside.
Right.
So the fun of opening that, she did add a little bit of the silver ripple paper. You can see just a tad there.
Peeking out here, and it's been, this piece, the tag here has been matted with it, so there's just a tiny little thread of it around there.
And then as we went here, and then on the inside more, the little bit of matting.
Matted here, it's been matted here around this baby, it's cold outside message.
And this piece. So
that's one of my favorite messages right here.
Do you like that?
Oh, yeah.
So very fun. And you can see the play of the colors of the papers, how that's working well with the circles, the plaid, the stripe back there, the dot.
It's just so bright.
Yeah.
It is playful too. It's just very cute.
And so just a very fun thing that, and like I said, Teresa really wanted to get some fun cards into it as opposed to just the regular kind.
Did we say something about the ribbon going through the little holes?
We did not.
Through the die cuts, there are holes here around this label, and she put the ribbon right through, threaded it through, and then tied it on the front. Very cute.
So nice way to go. Now, scrapbookers, there's only one scrapbook page this time, or for today.
For this Artful card
but
kit.
look at it. Isn't this fun? And
beautiful.
What a wonderful way to use an 8.5 by 11 sheet on a 12 by 12 cardstock.
There is a lot going on here.
There is.
It starts with that paper, with the large border on the edge, but then it's decorated with extra little snowflakes that are created out of silver. Oh, I can't remember what you call it.
It's silver. Here, let's read it on the back. It says Silver Sparkles. Perfect name. Look at that.
And that's a 12 by 12, but it's just used in smaller ways. Oh, larger ways.
Right. And doing it with the cutting die, the 3 snowflakes, and that tiny snowflake is where you're seeing it. So there's 1, 2, 3.
Look at how tiny that is, and what a big impact that makes because of the holographic paper. It just pops.
Actually a really good way to phrase it, isn't it? And so you can see that the snowflake out of that holographic, how wonderful that is.
That's the medium snowflake, but the smaller snowflake was placed on the center to cut out the center as well.
Oh, I see what you're saying, that evacuated.
Right.
And mixing that with the die cuts, it just really adds a nice balance. And then there's another big one over here.
Right.
And there is that small stamp.
That small stamp, which is our ice skate. And it's just a beautiful little stamp, and it's got Think Snow up at for the greeting and a couple of snowflakes. But it's been embossed with our superfine white embossing powder on vellum.
Right, and this set of vellum has the regular clear vellum that you would expect, but it also has this kind of parchmenty vellum. So that's something just to call your attention to. You mentioned it has Think Snow. Well, up at the top, Teresa did the embossing, the white embossing on that same vellum parchment.
Vellum, all the way
snows right
across the top. So there's a border strip with the little snowflakes in between. Just beautiful.
And more of the die-cut snowflakes and more matting.
I love this one.
Burr. And really fun. I think this is a fun activity. So it's not enough that it's snowing. They're out blowing bubbles.
No, that is just funny.
And this little one is quite captivated.
Oh, absolutely. And here's one of the sentiments that is included in with the Artful card, but not the sentiment, but the piece of paper that it was journaled on.
The cutting.
Right. So
cutout.
here's that blank label, and this was computer journaled on.
And the last thing that was done were bits of the want to scrap rhinestones added, and this is in the dark blue.
Right. I wanted to mention that if you're interested in how to computer journal on paper like that, we have that on our website. We have a 101 on
right. If you go to the bottom of the homepage, there's card making 101, scrapbooking 101, and stamping 101.
Right.
And that computer journaling is on all of them.
Yep.
It's
Shows
a
you how
separate.
to do it. It's very simple.
That's always there for you, but really sweet and a nice, fun way to use the Artful Card Kit for not card making, but scrapbooking.
Because you're going to have lots of Christmas pictures, too.
Yeah, right. Now, we talked about that ice skate, but here is another way that it was used, and this time on a card, not with the Artful Card Kit, but separately. And something brand new for us is this ultra high embossing powder.
Right. This is opaque, bright white, ultra high embossing powder from Wow.
And we were able to get it in these giant 5-ounce containers because we were thinking that, probably Christmas time, you're going to really want to do a lot.
Something you're going to have to remember about this is because it is so thick, then there's quite a bit of it there. You're going to be using quite a bit of it, so it's going to take a little bit of extra time to make sure that it all melts well. Make sure you do it from underneath the papers. That's the best way to make it work.
And I love how it's, how you can get this effect. Right. I just think that's so pretty.
It's beautiful. It's such a gorgeous look. I mean, that looks like snow right there.
It
on
does.
The card.
It's
and
just
this is
lovely.
done with the Fresh Frost paper pack.
Mm-hmm.
Just beautiful. And the circles and scallops cutting dies were used to cut that out, and even the edges were edged. That looks like silver zing too.
It does. Right. So nice way to go. So you've got your snow in lots of different ways. Mm-hmm. Now we have the second Artful Card Kit, and that's called Merry and Bright. And we'll bring that in. And you want to do the ribbon?
Sure.
Okay.
The ribbons, which there are 12.
Six
ribbons, each of them 36 inches in length, just like the other one. But like we said, these are not the satin ribbons. Now we have these great new ribbons to work with this kit, and it is a 1/2-inch grosgrain. We've got a red grosgrain. We've got this beautiful edged dotted piece, a white swirl. I love the twine, the baker's twine, and this is in blue and white. We've got a crepe and a really thin 1/8 inch, and all of these match the papers beautifully.
They do. And speaking of papers, one thing, this has 92 pieces, so 56 die cuts. And let me show you, the ideas are right here. We're going to show you Teresa's ideas for this set. The papers, there's a border, and this is a more typical red and green. Mm-hmm. So we've got the different size of dots, but still playful and fun. We've got snowflakes in a red and white, don't you know? And then we have snowflakes in a blue tone on tone. A stripe. Doesn't that just look festive and candy cane-ish?
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of stripes, what's fun about paper like this is you can cut it up in so many ways.
Right. You can use them as borders. You can use small strips. I love that there's music going on.
Very nice.
It says Jingle Bells.
And a hexagon or chevron,
zigzag,
yeah. And then here are the cutouts. Again, many that you can do your own, and you'll see how these are used. The die cuts are just very fun. Again, some nice size ones, but also ones that you can layer.
And you can stamp on them. You can computer journal on those. Some of them have messages on them already.
So this is more kind of the typical red and green. And as you can see, lots of ideas.
And I'm glad there are 3 sheets of them. There's lots of die cuts to layer and stack on your designs.
Now, Teresa has used a shutter card, and let me show you how this goes. So the die cuts, as you can see on the front, and as we open this, the shutter card is so fun to have that happen.
Beautiful.
And it's just going to be really important to read you the phrase that's stamped in the center.
Okay.
So better be good for goodness sakes. Here we go.
There we go.
May your stuffing be tasty and your turkey be plump. May your potatoes and gravy have nary a lump. May your yams be delicious and pies take the prize. May your Christmas dinner stay off of your thighs. So that's obviously the naughty and nice stamp. And
But the naughty and nice stamps that we were talking about, that's a large one right here. That's a really fun one.
Yep.
There's a lot of great messages on here.
see, we started you off with Merry Christmas. You thought it was going to be tame, didn't you? Now the shutter card.
There are a couple of different ways to
Yes.
achieve that shutter card, which we talked about this week.
Right, on
One of
Monday.
them- right, here's the template. The Teresa designed templates for the shutter card. All the directions are on there for you. And then we have the package of die cuts.
Right. So your choice, however you want to do it. But in any case, very fun to use the Artful card kit
Right.
and to make a fun card like this. So there you go. Here is another one. Now this is a tri-panel card. And what Teresa did was to make each kind of panel separately.
Right.
And then
glue it onto an S-fold card.
Right.
So the base
There's
is going to start with this red cardstock that is 6 inches by 12 inches long, and then she scored it at 4 inches and then 8 inches. You're going to mountain fold and valley fold so that you get that S-fold shape.
there you go.
And the dimensions of this will be on the gallery.
Absolutely. And this is fun to look at how the layering was happening. So you can see that snowflake on red paper, but she's got a border here.
Right.
And then the tag at the top.
Which has been foam taped on, and here are these gold nail heads that are at either end. I like that. It makes it look like it's popped up.
It does.
With hardware.
And then you can see there is the wreath. And then this whole piece with the bicycle with the Christmas tree
This
is one
so
piece.
Cute. More of the nail heads right on the centers of the wheels there. It's a nice touch, and they combine well. There they are, the nail heads.
Just in case you aren't familiar with the nail heads, they're self-adhesive, and they're kind of slightly rounded top. They're not.
Right.
They're not like a rhinestone. They're kind of
It's just,
gentle.
It's more like a brad, but you just stick them
Yeah.
on. You don't have
Yeah.
to punch through anything. And then also they combine well with those gold jewel dazzles.
As everything does. A little bit of ribbon at the top. There are the gold jewel dazzles. Then backing up, we'll see the center panel. So this is very bright and festive. This is a little more toned down, not as much overlapping.
Right. So just a little bit. It's understated, but it shows you the tree with the presents, and it says, "Be jolly, by golly."
And that's absolutely true. And then the last one, unwrap the magic of Christmas with a label and the presents all stacked
So
as those
just
die
fun
cuts.
with layering those.
Yeah.
And I believe that Teresa said she sort of did a lot of other cards, and then whatever she had left over, she kind of plunked onto this card in
did.
this collage effect.
And a question is sometimes, well, how many cards can you get out of an Artful card kit? And the answer is that depends. If you put tons of die cuts on the cards, you'll get fewer. You may only
Right.
get 10 or 12. But if you put just one or two, obviously you're going to get more.
Right. There are 56 die cuts in this Artful card kit.
Right.
So if you want to use one, then you're going to have 56 different cards, I guess.
A friend of ours was on TV in London, and she made 21 cards on camera,
Really?
and they were all big cards.
Oh,
so
wow.
that was pretty neat.
Yeah, so if you make smaller ones, you could get
Yeah,
more.
you will. Now, here is another layout that Teresa has done. And this time she's incorporated not only the Merry and Bright, but also
But
our
the small,
gingerbread guy.
Yeah, our gingerbread guy stamp. And he was embossed, in this case, on craft cardstock with white. And it's just beautiful.
It is. And adding some of the red jewel dazzles.
Well, it makes them look really like cookies on
does,
there.
yeah.
And I love that sort of the cascading effect on this card,
You know-
starting at the upper left and just kind of moves down to the lower right.
It really does. Now, you said craft. I'm wondering if that's not just a brown rather than the
Oh,
craft.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I think you're right. That is just
Yeah.
brown. It's just a
I'll-
kind of a lighter brown.
Yeah, and all the detail is in that stamp. But you can see how the die cuts just really really give him a nice home.
Right. Oh, and this is, okay, so one of the, so the card was cut off a little bit shorter, so there's a shorter lip here on the front of the card, and then this border die cut was placed right down on the edge.
Very nice.
So you can see into the inside
I
of
like
the
how
card.
this overlaps.
I do too, and this is an embelly from the Rhapsody Embelly set, actually.
It is?
It is.
Well, is that why I have these over here?
That's why.
Okay, very strange. I would never have thought of using
I looked
that.
around. I had to look around until I found, I go, yeah, there it is. It fits well, though.
And on the inside, a great big die cut in the back. This is one of those cutouts, our stamp, and a die cut just popped up.
And
so.
this is just a piece of that striped paper. So one piece has been cut out. It looks like it's been layered several pieces.
But it's not.
But it's one piece of paper.
And Sweet Holiday Wishes has been also stamped in there.
on there. And that is the sentiment that comes with the little gingerbread guy.
Now we have another look at our little gingerbread guy, and I wanted to be sure to share this with you. He has been just stamped in brown and then some stickles added to make him shiny. But look at that silver around him.
Just beautiful. And that comes from more of that ultra high embossing powder. It's the Wow Metallic Silver.
Right.
And so it's also that real chunky look. That's what you can see, the edges all looking sort of chunky like that.
And
so
it
you
just
put it on a thick layer, you heat it from underneath, and it melts to this beautiful thick look.
And look at the edge of the card. So just
yeah, it's gilded.
Yeah, it's just quite lovely. But what a great look with this this Sweet Holiday Wishes little tasty character. Now the Naughty and Nice stamp set also has some other things that you can do with it. Now even the naughty deserves something nice. This proclaims. This is one of the stamps, and this has been done on our heat-resistant acetate.
Right. So there's a label here, but also the snowflakes have been stamped around the edges. So as you move this around, you can see the snowflakes coming through.
And that Merry Christmas on the inside that's part of the stamp set. But look at that bow. I think that's just brilliant to have the ribbon on the inside just with a knot.
Right.
And then you've got just the bow on front.
Well, I really wanted it to look wrapped, and I just couldn't figure out how to wrap it around the acetate, because the acetate is actually folded, scored and folded on the left. So anyway, that was the solution.
So that's just gorgeous. And the heat-resistant acetate we showed you during stamp camp.
And this was done on the Christmas cheer paper pack that we talked about earlier in the week. And are we?
Okay. Well, I just wanted to show that this is another version of the same stamp. Even the Naughty deserves something nice. So two different versions. And I thought it was just really fun to see that.
Sure.
So on the Christmas cheer paper, and you can see that it's got the suede paper as well as the gold ripple.
And the design toolkit number 3 was used to cut this shape out, and also the edge shape that you're seeing here.
Right. So here's the design toolkit. Sometimes it just helps to get, okay, well, that's what it would look like.
Right.
So you've got that right there, as well as
the edge design,
this one,
which is, there
right
we
here.
are. Yeah.
There you go. So that's how you can use it. And these do not have an inside, I think. We'll say they don't. The last thing, you want to show more of the stamp?
Well, I don't know if we've quite seen enough of it to really do it justice. We haven't sort of said, here it is. And so it does have several large greetings. When you stop believing in Santa, you get socks for Christmas.
Right.
One of them. Dear Santa, define good.
I think that's really important.
Those are some of the smaller sayings, but there are also some very large sayings. And like I said, lots of little extra bits, small stamps that go with it. Christmas families are like Christmas fudge, sweet but with lots of nuts. So
now,
lots of items in them.
Teresa did a couple more projects I want to be sure to show. This is with the Sarah Surface takeout box, and look how easy this is. So you just cover the panels just like so, add a die cut,
and a little strips of paper, make it look like it's wrapped with ribbon.
And you're done.
You're done.
This sweet.
This is one of the cutouts that's been foam taped on top of, actually matted on cardstock and then foam taped over that label. And this one, which is one of the die cuts, has been stamped on with the Naughty and Nice stamp set.
Right. And there's one more. She decided she wanted to give us kind of a size difference. Now, these are the ones that come in the package. There are 2 per pack.
Right.
But she happened to have one of these and decided just to take a larger look at it, and just the idea of simply covering it and with the stamp, the Naughty and Nice stamp. When you stop believing in Santa, you get socks for Christmas. Socks could be in here. Our children were told that unless they believed in Santa, they would not get presents. So as adults, they still proclaim their belief in Santa. I can tell you it works. So very fun. So not only the Artful card kits making some wonderful cards, but also some fun gift wrapping and scrapbook pages. Please, that's for today.
That's for today.
That's for
our
today.
Beautiful Artful card kits.
Please join us tomorrow for the grand finale.
Okay, we'll see you then.